car popped up on Gullwing Motorcars website over the weekend, and a customer of mine gave me a call and said, "Hey, you know this car, and it looks interesting." And it was a 275 GTS, fairly rare car. It's a convertible Ferrari. Let's see, 275 GTS, probably like 1965, 66, only a couple years. Like 100 or so that were made, 100, I think less than 150. And it looked like a nice car. A couple of things with it. I mean, there was a question about whether or not the engine was correct, or the engine had been stamped and things. So it was, the price of the car was, in my opinion, pretty cheap. I mean, it was right around $1 million. Okay, $1 million is a lot of money for a car, but for a 2-cam Colombo engine V12 convertible, there's really not many cars that are available at that price. So a lot of people look for, they want a convertible Ferrari, a convertible vintage Ferrari, and the only two choices is a PF cab, which is around 1959, and 275 GTS, so that's around 1966. So the only reason why there's the only two choices is that those are the cheapest convertible Ferraris. They didn't make a lot of convertible Ferraris. I mean, when you think about it, the next level Ferrari convertible would be a 330 GTS, which is a fabulous convertible, but that's pushing $2 to $3 million. So if you want the cheapest convertible Ferrari, V12, Colombo engine, it's either a PF Cab 2 or a 275 GTS. And ironically, both of those cars, even though they're built about 5 or 6 years apart, they're about the same price. And they're usually priced these days probably about $1.5 million, or maybe $1.3 million. And the other difference is on a PF Cab, that's kind of an older car. I mean, I like PF Coupes and PF Cabriolets, but they're kind of, the balance isn't good. Some of them have lever shocks, or most of them have lever shocks. Some of them have changed to telescopic shocks. They're kind of wallowy. They have disc brakes, but they're just, the way they're laid out, they definitely feel like a 50s car. And the 275 GTS, the reason why it's cheaper than a 330 GTS is that there's a couple little quirks about it. Great engine, 275, which came in the 275 GTB, all those things. Good power, but you know, they had little quirky things. It was the first first transaxle car, so it had a transaxle in the back with a drive shaft that ran from the front to the end, from the engine to the back of the back where the transmission is. And what ended up happening is Ferrari had a support bearing, and that little drive shaft would sometimes cause alignment issues because it wasn't really supported well from front to back. They had rubber bushings, and when the bushings got a little worn, and then when things got out of alignment, that drive shaft would bind and it would vibrate when up at speed. So they fixed it later on with the 330 GTC and GTS by putting a torque tube in. They also fixed that with the early 275 GTBs. Early 275 GTBs had the same issue with the drive shaft until they put a torque tube in. So, but when it's sorted, it drives great. I mean, it's a really nice car. So, I went down yesterday. Luckily, I went down yesterday because today it's just pretty nasty. It's rainy, it's cold, it's damp. Not a good day to take a convertible Ferrari out for a test drive. But went down and saw it, and this is what I found. Batteries hooked up here.
Huh?
Okay. Hopefully it's not gonna be too cold. The window doesn't work.
Oh yeah, that's why it's stuck there. That's the only thing I noticed.
175s, the biggest thing is, does it vibrate like at speed? Because it has this open drive shaft. So that's like the thing I'm always looking for. So I think if we go out on like the usual loop and then come back just on the highway just a little bit.
Yeah.
This one always makes me nervous.
Sounds good, right?
So far. No salesmanship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. What are we doing?
It's Queens.
You can get through. Go. What is he waiting for? I could probably get around there.
You could go like on the sidewalk and around probably. I think on this side, if you go on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Let's see. This will be interesting.
Unless they have it blocked with cars. No, you're good. Just take it slow, I guess.
Welcome to New York.
Yep. Yeah, you'll come back out over here. Yeah, we're friends with this mechanic. He does a lot of work for us.
Now, can we get? Is there a jump on this curve? Is there?
No, it's not. He goes in and out. You're good.
All right. Here we go. For cold, it sounds pretty good.
I know, it sounds good. It pulls good.
How long have you guys had it?
We've only had it for basically about not even a week.
Yeah? Yeah, I think if we just go down here, get out on the whatever the highway is just for a little bit, we'll turn around.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe before the airport. Like these cars is you got to know within 5 minutes like whether or not it's a deal killer or not because of the vibration.
Oh, yeah.
So far, fourth gear, no vibration up at speed. We probably were up to at least 60 or 70 miles, 80 miles an hour and I didn't feel it. So how do we get around? We just follow all the way around?
Yeah, just it'll have the exit signs. I mean, how good does this sound? It's like this. It's so smooth and powerful. It's got the power's there. It sounds good. Yeah, it starts right up with there's like no smoking or anything. Even at startup, it's good.
You're trying to sell me the car again, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. This car sells itself. I don't need to sell this car.
All right, let's see.
Now,
warm enough to drive today.
Yeah, I know. I'm just feeling the same way. Any colder and this would be not fun, but it's just okay.
All right, so we're gonna go Parkway. We're going Parkway West.
Yes. Yeah, just keep left. It'll put you right back on towards Manhattan. Yeah. What a view! Look at that.
Yeah.
Empire State Building. Bad sight for them to see. They step off the airplane at LaGuardia, they see a 275 GTS.
Yeah, if they know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Cars everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, right in there.
Is it actually open, the lift?
Nope.
Okay, just put it here. They'll take care of it. Oh yeah, I see what we can do. Put it, bring it in.
Bring it in.
All the way, and then they'll take that. Yeah, just pull up straight to this Aston, please, and then they can get this off the lift.
All right. Always a sigh of relief when we arrive and we don't hit anything or break down.
I know. No, I knew this car was good.
All right, cool. Okay, 275 GTS. Just brought it in for a test drive, and let's take a look underneath. That's the original belt here. Exhaust has been replaced. Looks like it's a answer replacement. Transaxle looks pretty dry. No leaks. And what I see is a coupler that I believe is a modification. So that's the good news. There's kind of like a CV joint coupler, and I think that's why I didn't feel any vibration, because this car felt pretty good. No vibration in the driveline, and it might be because this has been updated with a new CV joint kind of coupler. These things are notorious for vibration because of that, so someone's already addressed it. Everything looks pretty nice and dry. No leaks. Don't know if this is original. I think this is probably like an aftermarket, or somebody created a radiator cover. The original ones, I believe, were fiberglass. Some pieces have not been re-chromed. This looks like it's original. Like some of the bumperettes and things, decent shape, but just still shows like a little bit of pitting in the chrome on the bottom side. Top of the chrome looks pretty good. We'll take a look at that when I put it back down. It looks pretty clean. I mean, this is just some old undercoating that's still kind of there. The car has a layer of dust on it, so it looks like it was probably painted after all. I mean, it looks like it was painted, and the car's just got a little bit of layer of a little bit of rust, not rust, a little bit of dust all over everything. There's a slight bow to this rocker here. It not sure why. Could also just be this outer rocker is bent, which might be the reason. It looks a little bit of both. As far as rust, I don't see any I don't see any rust. You know, everything looks pretty solid. It looks like some of this stuff's been replaced with steel lines or stainless steel lines. Generally, it looks pretty clean. It's got the right plating, a little older, but missing a couple hangers here. But that's also probably because the hanger here is welded in the wrong place. Tires are from 2019. The knockoffs, I think, are incorrect. I think it's supposed to have like a little cavallino there. Let's see, are these also dated the same date? Does that say 19? 19, it's 19 there. So they all have the Ferrari hand logo, which I think it's supposed to be the horse logo on the knockoffs. But these look like they all match with the Ferrari hand logo, and also 2019. Well, looks pretty good. Pretty dry underneath. Let's take it down, take a look at the top. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is the right door doesn't close very well. It's like first latch, second latch, and there's no room for the door to close further. And it sits pretty hard, proud out of there. Lines up at the top, does not line up at the bottom. The other thing with this car is the paint is very metallic-y, it's a two-stage paint, clear coat, base coat, but almost too sparkly. It looks like it's done well, but small adjustments on the hood, that's okay. This all looks like it's fit fairly well. These just, you know, small little details here that just need to be fixed. That looks like it's just glued in. Chrome on the top side looks pretty good. So we see a little bit of pitting here. So chrome probably, you know, decent, just may have to be re-chromed at some point. Driver's side door is the same issue, not sitting out far. It doesn't close as well. It's not as bad as the right side, but it still sits a little proud. And again, it sits too close here. The top of the door goes in, and then the bottom of the door is out. Windshield fit. New gasket looks like they got it right. Wipers probably not correct, but close enough. Okay, interior wise, it looks like we have a mix of carpet. Not sure, like if they don't match, number one. This might be the original carpet, but it looks like a square weave as opposed to the normal cut pile. And then it looks, they don't match, so I think this was replaced and put in, and this is what some kind of square weave red carpeting they put in. Okay, so let's do a paint meter real quick. 15.4. The place I'm going to look for a filler is down below. That's 12.8. Usually if there's filler, they'll do it down at the rockers. 14.7, that's not bad. 17.8. bottoms of the doors, 33.6. There's a little bit of filler here, but not bad. It's just a little patchy. See how it goes 33, up a little bit there, 24. So it starts to go past, once it gets past 30 some odd, it won't read. So that means somebody's built up this corner of the door, the edge of the door, with some filler. See? So there's just like a little blend of filler there. Other places you look normal, rust areas that you're looking for is down here at the corners of the doors. 22s, 17s, that's okay. I mean, these days with two-stage paint, it's a little thick. 14s, 30s. Make sure that the nose, a lot of times what happens is cars get into accidents and the nose just gets buttered up. So this is always good not to see big thick 33 mils and things like that up at the nose. So that's good. 10, 30, a little, you know, just a little filler. See here. Again, it starts to get a little filler. Somebody's built up this corner a little bit. What I'm trying to make sure is it doesn't go all, the whole thing isn't buttered up. It just looks like just one little patch here. Just so I think, so I can get this, the profile here to this light. 37. The rocker's a little thick, but it's not. See what this door looks like. 28s, 24s, 16s, 14. Let's check it out, okay. That says 14, 14. All right. See, I'll check the corners to make sure, because this is usually where they get into an accident. See, like this is 30s, so it's just a little, you know, in order to get this shape, they have to kind of block sand it down, so it can sometimes have a little filler here in the corner. But you just want to make sure it's not all filler. Okay. Okay, interior wise, we know that door window's not working. That's not coming down, so that's the first thing we're gonna have to fix. The gauges look pretty clean. It shows 33,000 miles. I don't know if this stuff has been done before. It looks like it's just all original. The vinyl on this is, the padding is a little unstuffed, so that, I don't know what's going on there. I'm not sure. I think this has been reupholstered because it's a little coarse in grain. I think this was supposed to be a lot smoother in grain. So maybe it was done at some point. So we'll see, but it's decent. It just doesn't look original. Seats look like they've been done, but they're in decent shape. And I'm going to, and it's missing the visors, because you can see that it's got the Velcro pieces and a little pivot, but it's missing the visor. But let me get working on this compression. Engine looks decent. Let me get a light. All right, the hoses need to be done. These fuel lines, because they're all kind of weeping. This is like the stuff from the 80s that started the alcohol in the fuels or whatever, and the fuel is starting to weep through the fuel line. So that's definitely something I would recommend redoing. Top of the engine looks pretty dry. It has the right clamps and stuff, so that's always a good sign. So somebody's been detailing it correctly. has the correct washer bag, Dunlop brake booster. I mean, everything kind of looks as it should. There's the fuse panel, that looks correct. You know, hood pad is incorrect, that's just vinyl. But generally in pretty decent shape. Let me get the plugs out and we'll do a compression check. Okay, spark plugs are out. First cylinder. 155. 150. 160. 165. 140. Might have leaked a little bit, but I'd say about 150. 160. 160. 170. 170. 170. And finally 12. 170. So I really like this car. I mean, yes, it's got a couple big issues with it. The engine doesn't match, the numbers don't match, but it's supposed to be the right engine, and it's well sorted. I mean, I drove this car and the car pulled well, it sounded good, there were no shakes, rattles. So from a mechanic standpoint, I thought it was a great car. I was actually almost shocked how little oil there was. I mean, there was no oil leaking out from under the car. I mean, that is rare as hen's teeth, because I have good, well-sorted cars that just drip a little bit of oil. I mean, that's what Ferraris do. And I don't know if I make that excuse of like all Ferraris leak oil, but they tend to leak oil. And the fact that this one was bone dry, I was like, is there no oil in this car? Because I don't see any leaks at all. So that was pretty impressive. Now, the door fit, yes, that's disappointing. I mean, I think when people do body work and they don't get the doors to fit right, you got one shot at doing it before you put paint on the car. Because once you paint the car, it is really difficult to get doors to sit right and latch correctly if you didn't get the clearances right when there was no paint. Because that's the time to fix the alignment of the door, the hinges, the striker plates, the body work, all that stuff has to be done before paint. So some of that may not be repairable. You can still try. I mean, it just takes time. It takes time and energy, and you know, worst comes to worst, you have to repaint the door, fix the door and repaint it. Metallics are hard to match, but it's not impossible. So those are the two major issues with the car. But to me, at the way it was priced, I felt like there are a lot of other positives that outweigh the negatives on this car. And certainly wouldn't expect this car to just go become a show car. My feeling is, at the discount price of this car, relative discount, we are talking about a 7-figure car, is the fact that you could drive a convertible Ferrari for less than what it normally would cost. And the only way people know that the engine doesn't match is if they knew that the engine didn't match and it's time to sell. Well, as they say, a rising tide floats all boats. So if you can buy the car right and all the other cars go up in value, this car's value is going to go up too. It will go up in proportion to all the other ones with a discount because it's a non-matching number engine. But at the same time, as these cars become rare and desirable, not become rare and desirable, but are rare and desirable, there's always someone who wants a convertible Ferrari, and someone who says, hey, listen, I'll pay 80 cents on the dollar, or to that effect, for a car that has all the experience and is not even a replica. It's a real car. It just so happens that the numbers don't match. So my advice is to buy the car. We'll see if this owner decides to buy it, but that was what I found out in Gullwing, and now I'm back to work. anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's interesting. You know, there's no rhyme or reason how my videos get out there and how people find them. Some videos do really well. Some videos, you know, just do okay. And, you know, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm just going to keep doing videos. And if you like them, please subscribe or, you know, tell people, share it, you know, like it, because I guess that helps. So certainly help me out, and I'll keep making these videos. Thanks for watching.